Hi, we're on to our fourth study in the Gospel of John, and in particular, the great I Am claims of Jesus. In study number 4, we're going to be looking at I Am the Good Shepherd. That's in John chapter 10 and verse 11. As we saw in our last study, the idea of sheep and shepherds is firmly rooted in Jewish culture. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and yes, David as well, were all shepherds. David is perhaps the great example of a shepherd from the Old Testament, and one that is worth us looking at in a little more detail. He was the shepherd boy, the youngest son, who against all the odds was anointed king of Israel. He penned the great psalm, number 23, which tells us, "The Lord, the covenant God is my shepherd. I shall not want, I shall lack nothing. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He makes it like new. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Remember, the rod is a club. It's about 1 meter or 3 feet long, and it was used to protect the sheep. The shepherd would also hit the rod against the staff. The staff is about the height of the shepherd and has the crook on the end. And the sheep, hearing the sound of the rod hitting the staff, would be comforted. They would know that the shepherd was nearby. He goes on to say, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over." Doesn't that speak of God's abundance? Surely, it's a sure and certain thing that goodness and mercy shall follow, pursue me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What a fantastic psalm. In our key scripture, John 10:11, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd." In fact, he says this not just once, but twice. See verse 14 as well, as if for emphasis. There is the I am again, associating and identifying Jesus with Yahweh, the covenant God of Israel. He also describes himself as good. This description both stands alone, I am good, and also links with the word that follows, shepherd, the good shepherd. Interestingly, in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 17, Jesus is asked, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, that is God." Yet here, Jesus describes himself as good. What implication does that have? What is the significance of that statement? He also claims to be the good shepherd. He explains that the core qualities of the good shepherd are that he lays his life down for the sheep and that he knows his sheep intimately and personally by name. Unlike the hireling, he doesn't abandon the sheep when trouble comes. Now, Jesus did indeed come as the good shepherd to seek and save that which was lost, to lay down his life for the sheep, and once the price was paid, to pick it up again. Here are some points for application. Number 1, please begin by reading the 23rd Psalm. Pick out one of the phrases in the psalm and apply it to your own life and circumstances. How does this promise speak into those circumstances now? If you are studying in a group, share your thoughts with others in the group. Number 2, Jesus declares, "I am the good shepherd." Think about each of the elements of this claim. Number 1, I am. Number 2, the good. And number 3, shepherd. What is the significance of each of these points? Number 3, if you're a Christian, what does it mean for you that Jesus laid down his life for the sheep and that he knows each one of his sheep What is the significance of the fact that having laid down his life, he was able to pick it up again? And number 4, if you are not yet a Christian, what does it mean that Jesus laid down his life and that he laid it down for you? Why did he do that? And how will you respond?